News coming in. Karnataka's Minister Eshwarappa will tender resignation tomorrow. It's a significant piece of news coming in despite mounting pressure earlier in the day and yesterday as well. The minister was defiant, saying that he will not resign, but the latest is that he will resign. Remember, a whistleblower contractor died by suicide, and in an alleged note he had blamed Karnataka Minister Eshwarappa for harassing him for quote-unquote commissions and not paying him for the work the contractor did for the Karnataka government. This is a big piece of news coming in that the minister who has been booked for abetting the suicide of the contractor is all set to resign. Right, so this is the latest Karnataka minister who has been booked for abetting contractor suicide. Mr. Eshwarappa will tender his resignation tomorrow. Remember, there was mounting pressure on the Karnataka government. Earlier, we've seen that the chief minister was strongly defending Mr. Eshwarappa, saying that he will not resign until the probe is over. In fact, Eshwarappa himself said that I will not resign, but now the reports are coming in that he will indeed tender his resignation. Remember, there were protests by the Congress party, and there were voices from the Contractors Association as well. There was mounting pressure on the Karnataka government to sack Eshwarappa until the probe is over, because there were serious allegations on Eshwarappa of abating the suicide of a contractor, and the contractor had alleged that the minister in the Karnataka government, Mr. Eshwarappa, used to harass him for commissions and did not clear the payments to him for the work that the contractor did for the Karnataka government. Remember, Mr. Eshwarappa is the Minister for Rural Development and Panchayat Raj in the Karnataka government. He was fiercely backed by the Chief Minister and the entire cabinet, but in the wake of mounting protests and outrage by the Congress party, by the opposition, by the activists, by the Contractor Association, now the latest piece of news is that Eshwarappa is all set to quit. All right, for more of this, I'm joined by Neha on the broadcast. Neha, thank you for joining us. The pressure has indeed worked from saying that I am not going to resign. In fact, the Chief Minister also firmly backing Eshwarappa. Now it has been decided that Eshwarappa will have to go. What is the latest that you can share with us?
Well, that's right, Archana. After mounting pressure on, in fact, the government, now we're seeing a resignation likely tomorrow. Minister KS Eshwarappa in a press conference in Shivamogga district has just announced that he would, in fact, tender his resignation tomorrow. Now, what's important, of course, to remember over here is that the Congress has been mounting pressure on the minister to resign. In fact, even as we speak right now, you can see how the Congress leaders who've actually continued their protest outside the Vidhana Saudha over here today are going to, in fact, continue until such time that he is arrested. Now, this was, of course, in the backdrop of the latest developments that we already, in fact, saw right now of how Minister KS Eshwarappa had been accused. We're going to take this right back and give you a quick brief of how this ended up where it did today. Well, this, in fact, started in the month of March last year, where we saw, the Contractors Association alleging that many people in the government, have been collecting a commission of 40%, following which we saw a contractor, Santosh, who actually, in fact, died by suicide, and that after, in fact, he had sort of actually gone on to blame Minister KS Eshwarappa in his, press note. In fact, beg your pardon, in his death note, that was a WhatsApp message. And after that, a case was filed against the Minister KS Eshwarappa here, a veteran to suicide case, following which we are seeing a big decision that's coming over here by the minister. He has, in fact, been forced to resign at this point in time. It's important to remember over here that, both the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party had been demanding that he actually be, sacked from the party and that he be arrested. But now, in fact, it seems like with no possible option over here now to resign. So it's important to remember that even as the pressure has been mounting, the government, of course, on one hand has taken the stand that he would have to resign, but on the other hand, in terms of the police investigation, we'll have to wait and see whether he is arrested or not. Back to you.
Right, Neha, we also believe that the Congress is also, set to begin its press conference. They had All right, the Congress press conference has begun. Let's listen. All right, in a short while from now, the Congress party will address the press as far as the Karnataka minister's resignation is concerned. Remember, there was mounting pressure on the Karnataka government to act against Mr. Eshwarappa, who is the Rural Development and Panchayat Raj Minister in the Karnataka government. He's been booked for abetting the suicide of a 40-year-old contractor. Remember, 40-year-old Santosh died by suicide, and in an alleged note, he had blamed Eshwarappa for harassing him for commissions for government-related work. He had allegedly said that he was not being paid, his payments were not being cleared by the minister for the work that he had carried out for the Karnataka government. And the same allegations were echoed by the Contractor Association of Karnataka, that in the Karnataka government there is a 40% commission. There's this trend of taking 40% commission by the minister. Some very serious allegations leveled against the Karnataka minister. Neha is back with us. Neha, it would be very interesting to understand how these developments have led to a change of heart in the Karnataka government. In fact, the Chief Minister was very firmly backing Mr. Eshwarappa, and he said that he will not resign. Mr. Eshwarappa was also saying that I will not resign. A probe has to get over, the probe has to conclude in order for me to resign. But what has happened in the past 2 days that suddenly the government has acted under pressure and asked Mr. Eshwarappa to go?
ನಾವು ಮೊದಲೇ ಹುಷಾರಿಲ್ಲದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಷ್ಟ ನಮಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಮಿತ್ರರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳು. ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಒತ್ತಡಗಳಿತ್ತು, ಆದರೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೋರಾಟವನ್ನ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನತೆ ಮುಂದೆ ತಾವಿಟ್ಟದಕ್ಕೆ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳು. ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ನಮಗೆ ನೀವು ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಚಿವ ಈಶ್ವರಪ್ಪನವರು ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆಯನ್ನ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನಾಳೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ,
ನಾಳೆ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿರೋದು.
ನಾಳೆ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಈಶ್ವರಪ್ಪ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಮಾತು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನುಡಿದಂತೆ ನಡೆಯುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಿಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ವಿಚಾರ. ನೀವು ನಾನಾಗ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗ ಪಕ್ಷದ ನಾಯಕರಾಗ್ಲಿ, ನಾವು ಈಶ್ವರಪ್ಪನ ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಮಗೆ ಈ ದೇಶದ ಕಾನೂನು ಏನಿದೆ, ಈ ಕಾನೂನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟು, ಅವ್ರು ಬರೆದಂತ ಪತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸಾವಿನ SMS ನಲ್ಲಿ, ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಡಗಿದೆ. ಆ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಹಾಕದೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರದವರು.
Speaking about the WhatsApp message, he's saying that in the WhatsApp message it was clear that corruption charges were leveled against Eshwarappa, KS Eshwarappa. So he's referring to the WhatsApp message right now.
ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬೆಳಗಾವಿಗೆ. ಹಗಲೊತ್ತಾದ್ರೆ ಮಧ್ಯ ಯಾರೇನೇನು ಪಾಪ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರ ಗೌರವ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಒತ್ತಾಯ ಏನಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಮೊದಲು ಆನ್ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್, ಪ್ರಿವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್, ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು
a probe should be held, a case should be registered, I beg your pardon, on corruption charges.
ಕೂಡಲೇ ಬಂಧಿಸುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಬ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಏನಲ್ಲ ಇದು.
So he's saying that this is not a special case.
ಅಂಗೈಲಿರುವಂತ ಹುಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ಕನ್ನಡಿ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಯಾವ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಲೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರೋಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಆ ಹೆಣ್ಮಗಳು
So
Santosh
DK
Patil,
Shivakumar is saying
Dharmapatni,
that the facts are very clear, and his facts are very clear in this case. He is questioning why the manner in which the probe is taking place. So DK Shivakumar is raising allegations on the probe that is being done by the agencies right now.
ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಈಗ ನಾನು ಭೇಟಿನೇ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಈಶ್ವರಪ್ಪನವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ನನಗೆ ಅವ್ನು ಯಾರು ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ.
DK Shivakumar is saying right now that earlier the minister claimed that he did not know who the victim was.
2 ಬಾರಿ ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆಯವರು ಕುಟುಂಬದವರು ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ನ ಫೋಟೋನೆಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರು.
But
ನೀವು
now photographs of victim and the minister are available in the public domain. So